Welcome back to Music Talk. I'm Dave. And that's Mike pouring a beer.
I ain't got enough to drink.
I caught him in the act this time. Well, appreciate y'all for tuning in and giving us the likes and all the views. We're rolling right along, and getting quite a few people on here. So just keep it up.
Finally.
And y'all throw some suggestions in here and what y'all want us to review next. We got some stuff planned in the future. So if y'all have any ideas, suggestions, let us know. Drop it in down there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this week we're going to do a review comparison, sort of. We always say comparison, sort of, but we're not really comparing them. We're just kind of putting them head to head because they're two people from one band that did separate things. So, and this one we got Nancy Wilson from Heart with her solo album that came out last year called You and Me.
Yep.
And this one here is Ann Wilson from Heart.
Mm-hmm.
And this is called Fierce Bliss. And this just came out a few weeks ago now, maybe a month. So anyway, we'll start out with the Nancy Wilson since hers came out first.
Yeah.
Cover looks like this, kind of odd cover. Almost looks like she's wearing pajamas or something. When you look at there, I don't know really what the onesie or something. I don't know. Nice car. On the back, you got her here with her guitar and her outfit there. Got all the track listings on there. Then you got this insert here. She's wearing her same outfit. And now she's got a flying V.
Gibson here.
This is her telly. Here's all your words to all the songs. I'm going to be coming back to this because there's something on here that annoys me. So I'm going to bring that back to you later. And on the back, she's got a pretty cool shot there. I really like that picture. I think that should have been the cover. I like that picture a lot.
Yeah. I see Joe Walsh doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one starts out. First one, we got You and Me. And this is one that she's written and features Sue Ennis, which Sue Ennis has been with Heart from day one, I think.
Yeah. Right around, about 40 years.
Yeah.
She's been, she's co-written about 70 or 80 songs with them.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's been around a long time. I always hear them reference Sue quite often, like she's the third sister in the band or something. Mm-hmm. So this one's pretty, it's pretty good. I mean, it's basically about her mom. She has like dreams and sees her mom and speaks to her mom. And I think Sue had a song already, and then Nancy was working on one, and they kind of combined it from what I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little slower ballad type thing. In the interview, she started talking about some stuff where, it really got a little out there. I couldn't understand what she was talking about, but it was talking about skin and she's her skin and her mom is her skin. I don't know, man. I was like, okay. I just kind of went on. Right?
Well, it's that Seattle weirdness going on there.
It was something, man. I'm not sure what she
live with it every day around.
Yeah. So that's normal talk out there.
Yeah.
So the second song, we get a cover tune of The Rising, which is a Bruce Springsteen song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, it's okay. There's something on the inside booklet that kind of made me mad, which I told you I was going to come back to it. So when you look at the booklet, you have the words for The Rising right here, right? And then it continues to the next page, but then they put the last song title in between the words.
Yeah, that was probably that.
It shouldn't have been there. And I was like,
whoever did the quality control before they printed just really fell down on the job there.
Yeah.
But,
I saw that, I was like, well, I can't believe that, man.
Anyway, to talk more about the song, The Rising, I like the fact of the mandolin in there. I like the mandolin sound, but I got to tell you, the snare sound sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked big time. I don't know what they were trying to do with the drums, but they were not there,
Yeah, and for this was a guy named Ben Smith playing drums on that one. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a little questionable about a lot of the production on this record, to tell you the truth. It wasn't a great produced record. It didn't have a lot of great sounding moments in it to me. Number 3 we get to is called "I'll Find You," and it's a good song. I actually like this. This is one of my favorites on the record.
Yeah.
It was a slow ballad,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought it was a really good song. It reminded me of what Nancy is, her guitar playing and what she does best. And this one really, I felt, was more Nancy than a lot of the rest of this record.
All right.
So then we get to number 4, which is "Daughter," and this is a Pearl Jam remake. But it did feature Tony Levin on bass, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Now, see, I didn't see that. Of course, you got all the information right there.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as covers go, I don't really know. I don't know why. I don't know why you would do that one, but anyway. So, anyways, number 5 we get to is "Party at the Angel Ballroom," and you know who's on this one, right?
Yeah, Taylor Hawkins.
Yep, Duff McKagan. Yeah, but they got McKagan as they got him credited as guitar on here. Now, he was the bass player for Guns N' Roses. So I'm not sure if he's really playing guitar or was it another mistake on the album cover. Well, it sounds like a different bass for sure.
He probably was playing guitar on it. A lot of these guys that you see playing bass are actually, well, like take Boz Burrell, for example. For the years he was with Bad Company and he did the King Crimson stuff. And he was really teaching guitar.
Yeah.
And I mean, so guitar was obviously his first instrument. It was just that bass was what he always wound up carrying,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know that. I'm not saying Duff can't play guitar, but it just sounded more like a Duff bass line in this one. So I'm just wondering, maybe he did both. I don't know, but they don't credit him as bass at all. It just says guitar. So who knows?
I'm wondering though if this has got to be one of the last things that Taylor Hawkins did. I don't know if the Foo Fighters were even in the studio. They were actually on tour.
Well, this, and he also did that thing with Edgar Winter.
Yeah. I heard that he had been flying in and out of different areas to go back and do drum tracks for people. And I'm pretty sure that this is probably one of them.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the last things I can recall that he did as far as the recording. And drums, I mean.
And, I know we have talked about Foo Fighters before, and I got to agree with the screaming bit, but also, too, Taylor's a good drummer, but I don't know, I'm just not into that grunge rock drumming,
Yeah.
That slam, smash 'em cymbal sound is no definition. It's just a roar. I'm not into it.
Yeah, this song was kind of a weird song to me. I mean, it was okay, but I just didn't dig it. I didn't dig the words. I don't know. I liked I thought the drums and bass were good, but I don't know.
Like I said, when we were talking before we started recording, I just think there's a lot of references to past history, and I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
So then we get to number 6, which is a Simon and Garfunkel cover of "The Boxer."
Yeah,
and this one features no other than Sammy Hagar, but the only thing he does is backup vocals,
and you can't even really tell it's him.
You can't. I know.
The only reason why I know it was him is because they listed him as being featured.
Exactly.
Well, you're not featuring him. You're just.
Yeah. I mean, he's not even playing guitar or nothing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. To me, it's a waste of having a talent like that on your record and not using him.
Right.
So I don't know. I just thought that was strange. And as far as the remake goes or the cover goes, it's okay. I mean, I don't know why you would do that one either, but anyway, there it is. So. So then we get to number 7, "Walk Away," which I like this one. And this one,
a good song.
Yeah, I thought this one had some. The vocals were probably stronger in this song than most of the ones on the record. I mean, I don't know. It was almost like she was more comfortable singing this one than the rest of the songs. But I did like this one, and I know you were talking earlier about this may have had some meaning about some past stuff, and I believe this one and the next one both had a little bit of an underlying meaning, which
Yep.
we're not going to go into all their drama.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's their business.
Exactly. But I did like this one. And then number 8 was The In Between, which was just kind of okay to me, you know. And then we get to number 9, another remake. And this is Dreams from the Cranberries. So, I mean, she's got Liv Warfield on here singing with her, which used to be with Prince in the New Power Generation.
She's part of Nancy's band now.
So. Right. Yeah. They're called the Roadcase Royale.
Royale. Yeah. And yeah, but Liv, yeah, she worked with Prince. The way she got in with Prince was she did a solo album, to introduce herself, and Prince heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Put her to work in the New Power Generation.
Right.
And
she's got a big voice.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, I'm glad to see that Nancy's got somebody like her in the band, because there's definitely some versatility there. You're not going to be listening to Nancy all night singing.
I would have rather her do a little more with her to let her stand out more instead of just doubling a lot.
Right. But she's got another singer too that she's carrying with her in this act. I can't think of the name of the girl now.
Yeah.
That I guess she brought her in to do the stuff that everybody wants to hear, to cover stuff from Heart.
Right.
And the explanation I heard was, well, when you hear her, you will hear her version of Heart.
Yeah.
Song.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so yeah, I think she's got definitely a good versatile show put together for the road.
Yeah.
And Styx brought her in.
Yeah.
Brought the band in to open up for him back in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw her singing a version of Crystal Ball with Tommy Shaw.
Right. I saw that.
It was pretty okay. I mean, it wasn't
bad. It wasn't knocked out.
No.
She kind of I think they did it early on in the tour. She wasn't really smooth on the moves of what the band was doing,
Right. Exactly. She looked a little bit,
intimidated.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, you're next to Tommy Shaw. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and then you got Todd Suckerman back here on drums, which is the god of drummers.
Yeah. And then you got the guy that sounds like, Steve Perry a little bit every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Could sound like Freddie Mercury too.
Freddie Mercury too, yeah. No way.
We're gonna get arguments about that.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. I always say that guy from Styx sounds like Freddie Mercury.
He does.
Was Gowan, right? Gowan's his name?
I guess.
Yeah. Then we get to number 10, The Dragon. And I mean, I liked it, had a cool riff, but I hated the way she said the word down all the time. Going down, it's like.
Yeah. I thought it was a neat song though. And I got to tell you, here on my system, it really really shined on my subwoofer, the sub lows that were going on.
Yeah.
Pretty damn
and it's
cool.
another good one on there for sure. Yeah.
It was pretty damn cool the way it was mixed and everything. I got to give them props on that one. But
yeah, I just hated the way she said down.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get number 11, which is We Meet Again. And this had some great acoustic picking on it. I mean, I love this. This totally reminded me of Heart here, because of the way the guitar was. And that was another one that I have started out there with that I like. And then the last song is an instrumental tribute to Eddie Van Halen called For Edward, which is only about a minute and a half of her playing acoustic. So,
yeah, and I thought it was, I don't know, I liked it, but
the tribute, you mean?
Yeah, I wasn't really knocked out by it,
Yeah.
It was like, okay, sitting around the living room having drinks and after a gig or something, and
picking on the guitar.
Somebody wants to lay something out there, for the party atmosphere,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it was tasteful, I guess. Yeah.
Well, it kind of reminded me a little bit with the harmonic tapping stuff she did was a nod to Spanish Fly.
Right.
Which was Eddie's acoustic one on, I think, the second album, right? So
right.
I kind of think that, but I mean, overall, I mean, I'm not going to give you a rating on this until we do the other one, but I'll just got a few things to say about this record before we move on to Anne's. And I've already mentioned the title that they had for Edward in the middle of the lyrics to The Rising. That annoyed me, right? I felt like her vocals were not strong. They weren't very confident. It was kind of a flat album. It wasn't a lot of energy on it. And I felt like it was rushed. The production was rushed. Everything was rushed. And it didn't seem like they put a lot of time and effort into getting this thing out to me.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from with that. I don't know. My take on it was, and actually, it kind of, you know, doing a little research and everything. I get the feeling that Nancy, and this is one of the tiffs that her and Ann are having. Nancy's wanting to keep opening doors on more original stuff, but I think she's wanting to make it a little bit softer, a little bit more of a softer pop type thing. And I think that's where a lot of the scratch is coming from between the two of them, because Anne wants to hang on to doing what Hart has been doing, from what I've read.
Well,
And I just think it's just a difference of creativity that's going on there.
Probably so.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like any other sibling rivalry. You know, I mean,
right.
That's my room. Stay out of it.
That's right. Dang it. It's my poster. If I want to hang Bruce Springsteen up, I can hang Bruce Springsteen.
Who let my snake out of the box?
I got Iron Maiden on my wall. You got Bruce Springsteen on yours. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I mean, you don't, obviously. but that's how it was when I was coming up, you know. So
yeah.
All right, so that brings us on to Ann Wilson, Fierce Bliss, right? Got this. Now you're looking at the production difference in marketing value. You got Roger Dean cover. So right off the bat, you've got a very artistic, beautiful cover. It's called Fierce Bliss. She says she named it that because that's what she was feeling at the time, was fierce bliss. Yeah. So it's like a book, as you can see. It's hardback, and then it's got this nice pictures that come off the front that they're putting all through here, and it's a very beautiful cover, man. I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to give this one of the better that we've done.
I almost bought the album yesterday, but then I ran across the Eagles, their first album. I was like, nah, I gotta buy that.
I will probably buy this record. This is the list of all the people on it, and then you got her saying some quotes and stuff on here, and you got all the lyrics, just pretty rainbow colored writing, some more stuff that she's talking, more lyrics, and
what that looks like under a black light.
I don't know. I bet it looks cool. I bet it looks really cool. And then the whole cover all the way, you get this sweet Roger Dean picture, you know?
It looks a lot like the artist that did Topographical Ocean for Yes.
It is. That's Roger Dean.
Same artist? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And they even have the CD thing on there anyway. So this record, man, I mean, it starts out with a song called Greed.
Yeah.
You're rocking. You know, start rocking.
The heavy rocker, yeah.
It is, and she stated that, you know, greed it's for everybody. It's politicians, it's for Hollywood, it's for the average person. Everybody is greedy, and we all need to lay back a little and stop being so greedy.
Yep.
So, I mean, everyone knows greed.
Yeah.
So a song like this is going to catch everybody somehow, right?
Yep.
And I liked it. I really liked the song. Then we get to a song.
I liked it. Yeah, I mean, I liked the way the album opened. It kind of the same approach as like Zeppelin took on Zeppelin 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just knocked the doors down with the first song on there, and there you go.
It's funny that you say Zeppelin 2, because Blackwing, the second song, it starts out reminding me of No Quarter.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, wow, this is crazy, right?
Yeah, and it's a hard rocking ballad, you know. A good
ballad. It's got Dan Walker on the keys, and he's actually was part of Heart back. I think he joined Heart around 2019.
Huh.
So he was part of the band, I think.
Yeah. Well,
So
that band, I guess, I don't know. I see. I'm so puzzled about what the rift is. Why they didn't tour? Because I mean, you see these musicians that they've been using. Anne's got them on hers, but yet she didn't want to go on tour with
yeah, I mean, who knows?
them.
It could just be something between Ann and Nancy, and the best everybody else is like, I'm staying out of it because I can play on both records.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the Ringo thing. I'm
Well,
gonna play on everybody's record.
they were talking about, okay, so this one thing I was reading, they were talking about, okay, so you got Nancy Wilson. So they're talking about, you got three Hearts running around. You got Nancy Wilson and Ann Wilson running around as Heart. Then you've got Heart to Heart, which is old musicians that were in Heart touring as Heart.
It's crazy,
And they
right?
said, well, then you could have a fourth one when you get the bass player from Bad Company, bring him back out because he used to, I guess, play with Heart.
Yeah, I know. It's
It's
crazy.
like, okay, so there'd be four Hearts running around.
Yeah. So you could hear that. You could hear Heart songs every week at your
Yeah.
local establishment.
And you, yeah, go down to your local deli, get a
Yeah.
beer and a Reuben, listen to Heart.
There's going to be somebody playing Heart. So yeah, so Blackwing, I really liked it. I thought it was a great song, and I really love the way it fades into Bridge of Sighs. There's no pause. It
Oh,
just
really?
goes right into it. Yeah, I know you probably listened to it digitally,
Yeah, I
but on
did.
the CD, there's no pause. It just goes, bleeds right in. And then, of course, Kenny Wayne Shepherd
Yeah.
is doing
Well,
the
one thing I'm
guitar.
going to say about Bridge of Sighs, I love the way the band sounded.
Yeah,
The thing I didn't like
was the singing.
was in the chorus when they did that pause. And I'm like, that totally broke the trance. And
Yeah.
it's like, they should have never put that pause in there. I
I
don't
mean,
care. It
I'm
didn't work. To me, it didn't work.
I'm totally with you on this. I loved the music in it. I thought it was great. They did a great job on it. I really wish they wouldn't have done it.
I know. It's hard to replace, oh God, I can't think of his name now. The
Robin Trower.
Robin Trower's bass player that sang it at that time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, not only that, it's like
You can't replace him.
you've heard this songs all these years
Yes.
done by Robin Trower. And there's a
Right.
reason why that's the only one that you ever hear. Because trying to duplicate that
Hmm.
is almost impossible. I mean, that's one of them songs that you hit it right that one time and you leave it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not often you run across people with a voice that is gruff and smooth at the same time
Right.
and bluesy.
Right.
And I'm sorry, Anne, nice try, but it fell down.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to like it. And I think, like you, I'm with you on this one. I thought the music was phenomenal. I think Kenny did a good job on it. I think the whole band did a great. The bass was fantastic on it.
Drums were great too. I love
Drums
the
too.
sound of the drums. Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
drummer
On
was
this
on
whole
top of it.
record so far, everything's had a great sound, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yep.
You know?
It's just that when they put that pause in there, I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
Yep.
no,
I know.
it's a
Yep.
dream sequence. You don't interrupt a dream.
Exactly. I mean, and I was listening to it too, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. But that pause, now that you've mentioned it, is exactly what it was, because you're so used to flowing with this song,
Hmm.
and then you pause it, and then you try to get that flow back.
It doesn't work.
It didn't work. Yeah, I just really wish they wouldn't have done it. But anyway,
Yeah, well, I mean, I give them props for doing it because the band shined.
yeah,
You know, I really just think arrangement wise,
mhm,
should have left the pause out. It,
yeah,
I might have accepted it a little bit better, but once I heard that pause, I was like, I was done. I was like, you took the dream sequence out of it.
I know, crazy. So then we get to number 4, "Fighting for Life," and it's an okay song, but man, I got so tired of hearing her saying he's fighting for life. She said it over and over, and I was like, it got annoying to me.
Yeah.
So
I don't like it kind of. I don't like this kind of rock. The industrial rock is what I
yeah,
call it. It's an industrial rock ballad.
yeah,
It didn't work. It's only a
yeah,
few bands that could pull it off. Rage Against the Machine can pull it off. I
yeah,
mean, you're not Rage Against the Machine. You're
No.
the voice of heart.
Yeah.
Come on, let's deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right here, this little section, man, this album really got strange to me, because then you go to number 5, which is Love of My Life, the Queen song. And it's like, why did you do this song? Because just like Bridge of Sighs, this is another song that you should have never attempted.
Yeah. Well, here's what I got down here. All right. Of course, they're featuring Vince Gill.
Vince Gill. Yeah.
And to me, it was way too churchy. I don't know of any other word to put on it.
That's
It was
true.
way too churchy. I looked at my wife and I said, well, Amy Grant done rubbed off on Vince Gill.
Yeah. And I mean, Anne said she always wanted to sing this song, and she was trying to think of somebody who had a beautiful angelic voice that would be opposite of her gravelly voice. So she called Vince Gill. He agreed, came down, knocked it out, and then took left. You know, it was like he came down, did it, and gone, like one take, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think they did a bad job for what they did. I just don't ever want to hear anybody do this song again. I mean, I loved Queen's versions of this, and I don't want to hear anyone else do it. They can't do it any better than Queen did it.
Well, it's just
Honestly.
like there are bands that you shouldn't even try to emulate. And fortunately, Heart is able, as a band, to pull off doing Zeppelin stuff.
Yeah.
Because of Robert Plant's voice, I mean, it pretty much takes a female to cover his voice. You know,
Right.
I mean, what's his name? Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose.
Axl. Yeah.
He used to try, and that's why he sounded like he was sitting on a toilet and constipated.
We always seem to bring him in.
You know, but my point, my point.
He always seems to creep in our conversations. It's never in a good light either.
He's got our attention. Anyway, but there are bands you should not even try. It's just like you shouldn't try to do any Doors.
Yeah.
You shouldn't try to do any Who. I don't care what band you are.
No.
The Who is untouchable.
Yeah.
Me, because one, I was never a big Keith Moon fan as far as a drummer.
No.
But the thing is, he's the only one that could play that stuff the way he played it.
Yeah, he was what they needed, and he was perfect for what they needed. So
yeah, they needed a clown on drums.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what they had. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Keith Moon could play if he really put his mind to it.
Yeah.
But he was just explosive. It was just a drum solo through everything.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like I say, the Doors, you know, I mean, it's just on and on and on. There are songs that are so iconic. It's like, okay, you should never try to do any Percy Sledge. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Unless you can really sound like Percy Sledge, because that's the only way the songs sell. You know?
I think too, my thing would be, if you are going to do a song by someone like that, do one that not many people know. I mean, when you're doing these songs that you've heard 100,000 times throughout these years, you're always going to try to associate it back to the original.
Yeah.
Right. So if you do one that hardly anybody knows, it works out better for you. Like, you know, if somebody tried to remake Won't Get Fooled Again, they're always going to think about the Who doing it, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Same with this, you know, Love of My Life's always been one of my favorite Queen songs. I always loved that song. And then when I heard them do it, and it just, I didn't like it very much. I wish they wouldn't have put it on here, you know?
Well, I just think bands need to get back to doing originals, leaving covers alone. I mean, the only thing that you should be covering is stuff like Roll Over Beethoven or Johnny Be Good or something like that.
Standard.
Just to throw it in there, you know, it's like, okay, we got to do an encore. Well, let's just go out there and do 2 verses of Johnny Be Good and walk away, you know, I mean.
And then guess what? This leads us right up to number 6, Missionary Man, another remake song from the Eurythmics.
Yep.
You know, which, I mean, it's a little harder rocking, but it's really no different.
Again, what is going on? I mean, and I noticed this kind of running through the vein of both Nancy's and Anne's CDs, their releases,
Mhm.
the this got really churchy too. They had a
Yeah,
choir in there, and
and a
I'm like,
choir.
why? Why did you put the choir in there?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know why they even chose this song again here. Really
Um,
strange to me. And I was questionable about the songs that Nancy put on there. Why she put like The Boxer and Daughter and stuff like that? Why would you choose those songs of all songs?
yeah, I thought Nancy did a pretty good job on the Boxer though.
Yeah, I mean she did, but I
Yeah,
mean, why would you want to remake that? I don't
right,
know. Dreams, even the Cranberries, I mean,
right.
I don't know, man. Really
Well,
strange to me. Um, I don't know. I thought both of them put too many cover tunes on the record. I don't mind you doing it live, throwing it in there, but I don't really want to hear it on your record.
hmm
Really.
yeah,
Give me more originals.
right. Well, and that's again back to my point. Originals,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're putting a product out there to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. There. Well, take the Bonnie Raitt tune that she did with Bruce Hornsby on on
Yeah. Uh,
that one. I'm trying to think of the name of it now. Anyway, that was done by several different people.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
And when Bonnie Raitt did it, I'm sorry, nobody else can do it.
Yeah. I Can't Make You Love Me.
Yeah,
That's a
there's
great
nobody
song.
else that's going to be able to cover that song after Bonnie Raitt did it.
Right.
Gary Morris did a version of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm sure that at that point, at the time when he did it, it probably worked. But
Yeah.
let me tell you something. Once Bonnie Raitt wrapped her arms around that song, it was over with. Nobody else can do that song that way.
I agree.
You know, and that's just like, for example, everybody goes crazy about Whitney Houston doing that
I Will
uh,
Always Love You.
Dolly Parton tune. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, the way that song was originally done, I don't need to be screamed at all the way through the song. It's a folk song,
Yeah. There are songs that people should never try to do. So
but people eat it up. It's like, I
I
don't get
know.
it. It's like, no, you've lost the whole meaning of the song when you start screaming it.
I know. All right. So now we get to number 7, Gladiator. And to me, this is one of the best songs on the record.
Yeah,
I mean,
I gotta
really
agree.
what it is Government Mule with Ann Wilson singing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the whole band.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
Warren
See, I
Pope.
didn't know. I didn't know that because the information I had available for. Of course, I didn't set out looking for the individual information on these songs.
Mhm.
I was more interested in Anne and Nancy.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And a lot of this stuff's probably not out there yet either because it's so new. So on the tracks, you can see who plays what. So
mhm.
Gladiator, basically, Warren said that he wanted to do an epic song like the Rain song. So this is
Uh-huh.
kind of what he wanted to do with this song. And then Ann comes in and they just nailed it. And I love this song. I think it's a great song.
Right, right.
And then we get to number 8, and that's Forget Her, which is another cover song. This is written by Jeff Buckley, and
Yeah.
it's a one of his songs.
Hmm.
Now, I'm not very familiar with the Jeff Buckley, so it wasn't so bad for me because I've never heard it before.
Right.
So I thought it was a good bluesy song,
Well, I'm not. I don't know if I'm a big fan of Jeff Buckley anyway, but because I really can't tell you anything he's done.
Yeah, I don't think he's like a huge name, but he's a big songwriter from like I want to say Vegas area or maybe Louisiana. I don't remember, but I know he's pretty big, I guess, in some circles. But I didn't really know who he was either. But I looked him up and found out that he's got quite a bit out there. So
Hmm.
he's probably one of them songwriter guys that does stuff too.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but I like the song. It kind of reminded me a little bit of that ZZ Top song. What was that? We just heard one done. Somebody else did it too.
Blue
Blue
Jean
Jean
Blues.
Blues, right?
Yeah.
Same 3 chords. Kind of.
Uh,
It kind of
uh,
reminded me of that a little bit, but sped up just a touch. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I was getting out of that song. I'm like, man, there's another Blue Jean Blues, right? So,
Yeah.
which is all right, you know. And then we get to number 9, and this was A Moment in Heaven. And I really like that opening riff. It was real heavy, hard riff, and then it goes to this dun 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 dun, dun or whatever it was, and I thought it kind of lost it. So this is one of my least favorite on the records, really. I mean, it was
Yeah.
okay, but
Well, I got to say that I mean, for the most part, listening to this release, I mean, and I'm gonna say it right here, it just really sounded like Heart.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
well,
I'm sorry, you know, and you're stuck with that. You know,
yeah,
that's your your identity, and
yeah,
I'm sorry that it is that way, but that's what I heard is Heart.
yeah.
There wasn't a thing that they have done in this whole lineup that the band as Heart could not do.
Yeah, the only couple that I think, you know, of course, Gladiator, and then the next one, which is Angels Blues, is basically it's Government Mule again,
Yeah,
same band, same,
it's a
just
good
just her.
blues rock. Yeah, and I love the organ sound in it. You
Yeah,
know,
the organ was
that
great.
B3 sound. Although I know it wasn't a B3, but
It may be, man, because he uses them.
yeah, but they're fly by night into a studio. Might probably I'll guarantee it's pretty much a keyboard controller. You know, with
Could
sound.
be, but those two songs, she actually went to Connecticut and recorded, I think, at Warren Studios.
Oh,
So,
okay. Well, then very well could have been
yeah, the
B3.
rest of these, believe it or not, were recorded in Muscle Shoals.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, then pretty much I'll guarantee you if you heard a Wurlitzer piano, then it was a Wurlitzer.
Right.
You
Yeah. Yeah, the only two that weren't done at Muscle Shoals was, well, three of them. Two of them, Gladiator and Angels Blues, which were both with the Government Mule, which
Uh,
is number 10. And what I was going to say about that real quick was the premise of that song was it was an angel trapped between body and becoming an angel. And they were looking down on the world and didn't want to leave because there were people dancing and in love. And so this
yeah.
angel's got the blues
I
because
heard
it
this.
doesn't want to become an angel. It wants to go back and live life.
I heard this reference in there about transcendental meditation bullshit or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, okay, wow, all right. Kind of crazy, right?
Yep.
But then we get to number 11, last song, and this is As the World Turns. And this one really, this one reminded me of something like off the Dog and Butterfly era,
Yeah.
really, a little
Well,
bit.
I mean, it goes right hand in hand because it's when As the World Turns was on the air.
Right, right. Yeah, I know. That's kind of I thought of that too. And I tried to not relate it because I didn't want to
I'm
relate it to
sorry, but
it kind of sticks in your head. I know, I know. But I kind of like the song. I thought it still was good. There's another song, Blackwing, the second one that we were talking about. That was
right.
actually recorded up at Uber Beats in Washington.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to say about the Blackwing thing, I kind of think that also too kind of references the fact of Jimi Hendrix being from the Seattle area. You know, Little Wing.
Could
You know,
be. That could be.
I mean, that's a ballsy move to put Wing in a title when you're from the same area and it's
Yeah.
not in a reference mode. You know.
Well, the words don't, I mean, it does kind of work with the words and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It does.
soaring through the dreams with the on your black wing and all that. That's pretty good. I actually love that song. I mean, I like the first two, and then you got there in the middle where you had all these cover tunes. I wasn't really digging much, but then you get the Gladiator, Forget Her, Angels Blues.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like this record, and I'll play this one a lot. Honestly, the guitar player she's got on there is a guy named Tom Bakovic, so whatever his
I've
name
heard
is.
that. I've
But
heard
he
that.
was the guy that kind of put the band together, and he's kind of her music director. So
Yeah.
he did a lot of the writing with her also.
Yeah.
So I think, and he's a great guitar player. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, I agree with you too that a lot of it does sound like Heart because, of course, Anne's voice is going to make it sound like Heart.
It's
But
just
some of the
hard.
music parts even were
Right.
Heart.
Right.
So I feel like this one, to me, it had a great production. The vocals were great, especially for her age, because she's starting to get up there now.
Yeah,
And
I
she
think
didn't
she's a
really,
year or two
she
older than her.
always kind of, her claim is that she wants to sound as strong as she used to. So she puts everything she has in it.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and I think she did a good job at that. There was a couple times when you could hear the strain, you know, but not much, you know.
Well, I don't know of any vocalist that doesn't put out there. I mean, about the only one I know that I've never really heard that strained to do anything is Paul Rogers.
Oh, I thought you were
Other
going
than
to
that,
say Axl Rose.
no, don't even get me. No, no, but Paul Rogers, I don't think I've ever really heard him strain to hit anything.
Yeah, maybe now that he's getting up there a little bit, but
I don't know, man. I the guy's still kicking it out there, you know. I mean,
yeah,
but I mean, Anne, I gotta say, has got one hell of a voice.
yeah,
Problem is, every time you hear it, I don't care if you've ever heard the song before or if it's a new song. The minute you hear her voice and her phrasing, you're gonna go heart.
you're going to think of heart. Yep, yep,
And that's probably, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing on
yep,
her, on her, you know, because there's a little bit of rough stuff going on between her and her sister. I'm sure they're going to overcome it.
yeah,
Um, you know, when I look at both of the albums side by side, I've got to admit that Anne's is a lot more pleasant to the ear production wise.
yeah,
But when I dig into the mode of the songs and I listen to what Nancy's got to say and what Anne's saying, I don't know, man. It's pretty much a coin toss, you know, when I dig down into the meanings of what's happening. Um,
yeah,
so I don't know, man. You know, I've got a, you know, as far as rating anything, I'm gonna look at both of them and put them right at a 7.5.
yeah,
I really am. I mean, because Nancy's always been in the shadow of Anne. Now she has stepped out before, you know. I know she has
yeah,
and done solo stuff. But I think this one in particular kind of has a big bright light shining on it because we just dealt with all the COVID stuff. And like you were saying earlier, you know, they were kind of a little bit more, and and it's pretty much par for course up here in the Pacific Northwest anyway. I mean,
yeah,
everybody is extra careful, you
right.
know, and dealing with what's laid out in front. And the thing with the tour falling through last year, um, I'm not picking sides. I'm just looking at what both of them are saying,
Yeah.
and I think they're pretty much on the even keel. You know, I mean, I can't say that production wise they are, but I think overall the overall story evens out on both sides.
Well, I think when I'm looking at them both side by side, I think Anne took advantage of everything she could on
Yeah,
hers,
yeah,
and Nancy didn't. I feel like Nancy left out a lot that she should have done. She could have had a better production. She had people around her that she could have utilized more and didn't. And it almost seemed like she just wanted to hurry up and put something out and didn't take the time, right? So for me, the Nancy album, I only had a few songs on there that I really liked. Where the Anne one, there was a few songs that I didn't like. So between the two, I give Nancy a 6-1 because I felt like she just left the opportunities on the table too much. And I'm giving an 8.3 because I think it's a fantastic record. And obviously, when you look at them next to each other, you can see who took the time to do the better product, right? I mean, the production, everything about it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say one sounds more like Heart than the other, which obviously Anne's going to sound more like Heart.
right.
I really wish that they would have took if they would have took all the covers off of both records and stuck the originals together and made a Heart record, it would have been a great Heart record.
Oh yeah, it'd been a good double album.
It would have been great. It wouldn't even have to be doubled if you threw the
And you
covers
know
out.
what? More cowbell.
Yeah, we need more cowbell. So to me, I think, hands down, to me, the better record was Ann Wilson's Fierce Bliss. But I'm not knocking Nancy for going out there and doing it. She had to prove a point, and she did.
Right.
And I wish she would have put a little more time into it, though.
Like I say, I almost feel like, and this is only speculation, that Anne had the upper hand in making decisions on things that happen and connections, where Nancy was more or less left to her own means. And I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be a shadow, in the music industry. I mean, I remember, my God, when I was a kid, and Dad dragging me around and throwing me up on stage, and I'm supposed to fill the shoes of this guy that's been playing drums for 25, 30 years.
Right.
And let me tell you something. It's a horrible feeling, especially when you're a kid.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's why I look at both of them, because I didn't really hear anything on either album that would make me turn a radio station if it came on.
No.
And the thing is, too, hands down, and was a better production.
Yeah. I think if you had some other vocalist with Nancy's record, it would have been better. If you had somebody else doing some vocals.
Right.
Because I don't feel like Nancy's got a good enough voice to be the front vocalist.
That's the thing that I do have as far as a knock on Nancy's big time. She was featuring these people, okay, but if you didn't read the title and understand it in parentheses, featuring, you would never known those people were there.
I mean, you think about it like this: you had Sammy Hagar, Liv Warfield, and Taylor Hawkins, which are all good vocalists. Because we heard Taylor sing.
Oh yeah,
and he's got a good voice. So she could have let them three take over a few songs, and I think we would have had a better production. I mean, can you imagine what the song with Sammy would sound like if he did lead vocals on one of her songs?
Oh my God.
I mean, think about The Dragon or something with Sammy's voice.
Oh, well, yourself, when Sammy sings, he owns the song.
Exactly. And that's kind of why I knocked her album a little bit, because she had opportunities that she didn't take. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into any other realm on this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I'm going 7.5 with both of them. Very two different personalities happening.
Yeah. Yeah, this is more of your, Festival Americana acoustic type record.
Yep.
And then this one is a rockin' record.
Yeah. I mean, it's heavy metal, man.
Yeah. So, so that's what you get with it. Yeah. So I actually don't mind them both, but I definitely like Ann's better, because that's the kind of music I kind of lean to anyway. So for Nancy, Mike gives 7.5. I gave it a 6.1. I feel like she left a lot on the table. For Ann, Mike gives it a 7.5. I gave it an 8.3. I think, too many cover tunes on both, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I like them. I like them. And rumor has it, which we'll see, but the rumbling around the back scenes is that next year is their 50th reunion or 50th anniversary. So they're supposed to get back together. They're even talking about doing a tour, from what I've been hearing in the rumbling. Now we'll see.
If they do, I hope for the sake of everybody involved and wanting to go see them, that they take it back to where they were 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they start doing that again.
It would be nice to see them bring in like Howard Leese even, and some of the other people that were with them.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just even at that, even if they can't get those people back, there's enough there's enough talented musicians to bring in that could emulate the whole thing all
Yeah.
over again.
Well, you know, the last person I saw Howard Leese playing for was Bad Company.
Well, that's
So
what they were saying.
it's gonna be a little difficult to leave Paul Rogers.
That's what they were saying. If he left, he'd be the number four heart out there.
Yeah,
It'd be four heart bands running around.
crazy, right? All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. That was it. You know,
Yeah,
Nancy Wilson and Wilson. I mean, go check them out. They're not bad. I like Fierce Bliss more. I don't think this is bad. I mean, you know, you
I
guys
got
let
to,
us know what y'all think, really.
I got to say, you will not be disappointed in either one. When you start comparing each one, then you can pick them apart.
Yeah,
But when you throw them on and just listen to them, it's yes, it's good music. You know?
it is good music. So, all right. With that being said, you guys stay safe out there.
That's right. Peace out. Listen to the music.